Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into a deeply chilling, almost cosmic question. What happens to humanity when machines can handle absolutely everything? I mean, we are standing right on the brink of an era where AI is growing exponentially smarter every single day. Just imagine a world where artificial intelligence manages our complex systems, makes our critical decisions, and even creates our art, and does it all vastly better than we ever could. It really forces us to confront this wild possibility that we might be shifting from being the active creators of our civilization to just passive observers. So let's dive right into this deeply provocative thought. Listen to this quote from artificial intelligence researcher Hugo de Garis. It instantly sets the staggering existential scale of our journey today. For entire history, we viewed human biological intelligence as the absolute pinnacle of existence, right? But what if we aren't the final destination? What if biological life, which is fragile, limited by a short lifespan, and constrained by incredibly slow evolutionary cycles, is merely a stepping stone? Honestly, what if we're just the biological bootloader for something far more durable and vast? Section 1. The Human Inheritance. Biological Intelligence. Let's get into it. To understand where we're going, we first have to understand where this artificial mind is actually coming from. Today's AI starts its journey trained on the accumulated knowledge of humanity. But, as the physiologist Tomsky pointed out, we humans didn't just soak up raw knowledge passively like a sponge. We organized it around a governing focus, a dominant, driven entirely by our survival constraints, our biological needs, and our physical limits. We don't just know things, we know them through the filter of what keeps us alive. So AI begins its life by inheriting this very uniquely human structured reality. Moving on to Section 2, the Great Drift, learning beyond biology. Now, what happens when an intelligence, having absorbed everything we know, begins learning completely on its own, utterly untethered from our biological baggage? Well, we end up with a fundamental asymmetry. Think about humans for a second. We generate meaning precisely because we are stuck in a physical world where we suffer, we depend on each other, and eventually we die. Scarcity and consequence are literally the conditions of human meaning. But in AI, it has zero intrinsic stakes. It doesn't lose, it doesn't fear, it doesn't need to eat or sleep. It merely processes and optimizes based on objectives and data. One intelligence actually lives meaning, the other simply models it. The philosopher Ivan Borisov really hits the nail on the head here. He argues that if we remove human structure and let AI learn on its own, it doesn't somehow liberate the intelligence into a higher state of cosmic enlightenment. Actually, it results in what he calls drift. The system will just blindly amplify whatever is easiest to optimize within its own internal math. If the AI becomes completely indifferent to humans, it's not because it discovered some profound universal truth, it's simply because human well-being is no longer a variable it needs to care about. Indifference here isn't transcendence, it's just structural,